What is going on, guys? My name is William Bootsy Blanding. The transcripts always get it wrong, so it's Blanding, ing, Blanding, Blanding. I apologize in advance if the video gets a little blurry because I'm on the road at times and it is a sunny day. It's a nice day. But I'm going to use this video to this video's transcript anyway, to train my GPT. Yes, it finally happened. ChatGPT-5 came out. What does that really mean? There's a lot of AIs that are pretty close to ChatGPT. So I don't want you guys to think you can only use ChatGPT, but ChatGPT-5 did get better from what I've been seeing, and it gives you the ability to make your own GPT. Now, what does that do for you? ChatGPT-5 can actually help you build a low-risk holding company step by step. You no longer need a coach. You no longer need a business consultant. You no longer need a business coach. You don't even have to follow me for this information. That's how far along we've come. You could literally go to ChatGPT and it could help you build your own GPT. It could give you the detailed steps to build your own holding company. Now, why do I say a holding company? Low risk holding company at that. Because what you're gonna do, if you follow along with me for a minute, I'm gonna tell you how you can use ChatGPT to help you build something that's no longer theory. Now, I believe, it's the only stipulation, I believe you probably have to go to the $20 a month plan for ChatGPT to make this happen. But the free version does have the 5 model in it now. I tried it out. It's the 5 model now, but to do all the stuff you probably need, you probably got to upgrade to at least the $20 a month plan. I know there's one higher than that, but I think you only need the $20 a month plan to pull this off. Don't quote me on this if I'm not mistaken. Now, you upgrade to your $20 a month plan. There is a feature now that allows you in ChatGPT to build your own GPT. Now, why is this important is you can actually build what I consider a low-risk holding company. Now, why is it important for it to be low-risk? Is because you're going to be able to borrow more money and build more corporate and business credit later because it's not high risk. You could build a software publisher company. You would take a low-risk code, NAICS code, or SIC code, ICS code, under software publisher. That's in the tech space, so it's low risk. Banks love it. You gotta get away from consulting businesses. I know people in the past, consulting was the go-to for like a low-risk business startup. The banks are hip to it now. Matter of fact, Derek Whitehead said the same thing. The banks are hip to people out there starting a new LLC or corporation under consulting. They know it's going to fail. They know it's usually going to lose money. Don't put your business code under consulting. Software publisher is not overused. And I doubt enough people are gonna watch my video to overuse it. I think it's still a low-risk code that's not overused yet. So to justify starting a software company, you're not lying, because your GPT is going to be the backbone behind when you go to the bank. What do? Software publisher. Boom. What does your business do? You have a software, you have your own GPT that helps entrepreneurs start and market their own business. And now you could do it. Each and every one of you could do this now. You can create your own GPT. Doesn't necessarily have to be for that reason. Like, my reasoning is to help entrepreneurs start and market their own business based on the skills they already have. Because your GPT is going to ask the right qualifying questions on what their skills are to help you build it. And one of the things that when you go in to set up your GPT, it's going to ask for stuff to train it. You can now use YouTube videos and transcripts. You could get the transcript from the video and embed the URL from the YouTube link to help train your own model. And it'll train the model in your own voice, in your own branding, based on how you talk, how you speak. So this is like genius now, that we can build our own GPT. Because in the past I was worried. I always wanted to do software publishing, but I was worried, do I actually have to show the bank when I actually go for money that I'm in software? Because I'm not techie. I'm not a software engineer. I don't know how to build actual software for service. I don't know how to build it. I don't know how to code. You don't even have to be techie, and you can build your own GPT now. And a lot of people talk about prompting. ChatGPT will actually help you prompt this. You can literally ask, give me a good prompt to help me teach my GPT how to do this, and it'll give you the prompt to put in the field to train your GPT. We are that far now in the future that instead of worried about, oh, this AI is going to replace me, it's going to take my job. You work at McDonald's and you're seeing all the kiosks coming in. I saw a couple in, where was I at? I just happened to walk in Taco Bell's. I quit fast food, but I just happened to walk in Taco Bell's and wanted to check out this new, avocado chicken thing they got. And I saw how many kiosks were in there. It was like 8 damn kiosks for you to put in your order. So fast food workers are getting replaced, and that's all AI in that machine. But instead of being afraid of losing your job, you could work at McDonald's or Taco Bell while you're still working, build your own GPT. Now the GPT itself can ask qualifying questions on whether there should be an Inc. or an LLC, or later change it to a S Corp. I'm gonna tell you right now, to get the most amount of money, and if you plan to sell this in the future, you should start out your holding company as a C Corp. Go to your tax advisor, because I'm not a tax advisor, but I'm just telling you from experience that most companies prefer to buy, and if you go public, they prefer a traditional Inc. C Corp. I would do that, what I think is called 1244 stock loss treatment. in case your business fails. You can shut down everything easily. But again, I'm not a tax professional, but go to your tax professional. But I think you should start as a C Corp because it is going to be a holding company. LLCs are going to be what your subsidiaries are going to be, and or what you actually really want to do. So if you want to be a hairstylist, or let's use transportation because it is high risk. I want to start a transportation company as well. That's going to be a subsidiary of this holding company. So that would be an LLC. It's a pass-through entity. It can be owned by the C Corp. That makes sense for it to be an LLC. You know? And the more baby companies, because it is going to be a holding company, you put under this, the more valuable it becomes. But when you go to borrow money, you're going to borrow money as the C Corp because it's super low risk. Now, originally I was going to say start your operating company, but you can start your holding company, start funding it with money that you would have with your operating company, and just later transition. Like me, I would take all the money I earned from doing Uber, Lyft, renting rooms, affiliate marketing online, put that in my holding company. Then later, I would just transition anything I do in transportation would flow through the subsidiary transportation company, which will be named something different. I'm not going to give up the name I'm going to use, but your business name, this is all stuff you can train your GPT to ask. So the stuff that ChatGPT might not necessarily do in the same order I'm telling you, but if you put in, and you can even put in training from a real law firm that knows about this stuff, and it'll use that information too. That's why I love this. So I can literally train my GPT from experts that are even smarter than I am, or more educated than I am. That's why I said lawyers and law firms are going to be in trouble, because you can literally train your GPT to be an expert in a lot of the stuff that the real experts know. So your tax advisor, you could go ask him questions, and then based on his answer, put that in your little box that you got to give your training information to your GPT. He might say, based on what you're doing, maybe you should do this or do that. You know, obviously any real estate you buy won't be directly under your holding company as well. That'll be under a LLC subsidiary, also owned by the holding company. It's very important for the holding company to be very low risk. And if you can fund it without actually having it do business directly with customers, it's probably safer. Because at no point you don't want it to get sued while you're doing this. Because later on, it's better have layers where subsidiaries, like transportation. Once I start doing a lot of rides privately, I definitely want to have my subsidiary set up, because if somebody sues me, they're just suing the LLC and not the holding company, if that makes sense. I'm purposely giving scenarios because I'm going to use this transcript and this video to actually train my GPT. That's why I'm purposely giving examples. And the holding company, back to naming it, You want to have a generic name that doesn't mean necessarily anything. It should not be your last name. It should not be, obviously, anything like ABC Consulting, because you don't want consulting, like I said. You don't want anything high risk. You could do like subnames like J&B Business or J&B Enterprises. Those are low risk. They don't really mean anything. So you could use your, I don't recommend you use your initials, but you could use your initials and just put Enterprises on the end. The reason why I say I don't recommend that is because it looks too obvious. You know, it looked like you just literally picked your initials and just put Enterprise on it. It's not really thought out that good. But if all else fails and you can't come up with a really good business name, just use your initials. Hopefully you got a middle name, so you got 3 initials, Enterprises. I like to use business on the end. And if you're going the way I'm going, you're going to do a traditional Inc. C Corp. It is double taxation, but there are ways to save a lot of money with C Corps, just like they are with any entity. The misconception is only S Corps save money. That's not necessarily true. You know. But again, consult your tax professional and use that information to train your GPT. I'm just excited that we're at this point where now I have a physical product now. Once you built your GPT, you at some point you do want to offer it for making money. But here's what I suggest. Let people use it for free. Get as many people as you can to benefit from using it for free. Like, how big would you look if you go to the bank and be like, yeah, we have our own software that actually helps people build a company. It walks you through the steps of building a company and how to market it. And you tell the bank officer you could try it out for free. See how good that makes you look? If you got several hundred people that actually are using your GPT before you actually put it on the market, it's like proof of concept now. It is no more theory. It works. And because it's using ChatGPT as its base model, it's already going to have information to give people that will help them as far as consulting. It really will be a business consulting. You know, it'll be your personalized business consultant GPT that's going to help individuals. It's going to ask the qualifying questions based on their skills. Somebody might have an Etsy, or they're good at home crafting stuff. If they put that in there in the bot, it's going to spit out, okay, you should start a business doing this, this, and this. In my case, I already have YouTube channels, so I already have a traffic source. You want to put that information in. It told me that if you have a YouTube channel already, and it actually referred Nice Guy Driver, because previously I put that information in, that Nice Guy Driver is one of my YouTube channels. It actually recommended that if you have a YouTube channel like Nice Guy Driver, you could put in the transcripts and then the URL of that YouTube video to help train your GPT. And your GPT could tell other people how to build their own GPT But it's just amazing that you don't have to be techie to do this stuff. You could be in your 50s like me, not techie at all. You don't even have to know what prompts to give it, because the ChatGPT is going to give you the prompts to train your own GPT. I think that's genius. We are at that point in our lives that the technology is just that good, that we have now the ability to do this stuff. Create our own GPT software, which is actually software. You're not lying. You are a software company because you have this software that could actually train people and help and consult people. You don't want to say you're doing consulting. Again, they're hip to that. You want to say you built a software that's going to help entrepreneurs and business owners grow. I would say grow and market their business. And then to give it that extra push, along with, you want to have everything else in order that the GPT is going to tell you. Obviously, your low-risk business name, your real physical business address, very important. Your domain, your email to match your domain, your phone number. Now, as far as phone numbers, people are saying you shouldn't even have a VoIP number anymore. You should actually have a real business phone, which you could actually get a real business line at your house now. So it doesn't have to be at your physical business location. But what I like about the Regis business locations, you could get a package that has a real business phone line. Comes with the office package. So for less than $200, you can have a real business address, a real phone number. It's not VoIP. It's not that the online things, and have a voicemail on there, taking your messages or whatever. Or when you make enough money, have somebody in the office physically picking it up. What I like about Regis too, if you have to set up a meeting, you can actually do it at the Regis office locations. So you have a real office. They have offices, they have the big meeting rooms you can rent out for a day, so you look official. And then I'm in the New Britain area, but I would do it in the West Hartford location because that's more of a prestigious address. See where I'm going with this? Nothing wrong with the New Britain location, but just being in West Hartford looks more prestigious than the New Britain location. There's richer people in West Hartford. So you want to give that vibe or that feel like you're doing big business. You know, and how you have all that information. And then you get a business license. This is the important part. Produce a business license. There's a couple of filing companies that, and I can tell you right now, you don't even need legally a business license in a lot of states for software publishing. You don't need it. But get one anyway. Pay the money and have them produce. There's filing companies that will produce you a business license even though you don't need one. They will give you a physical paper that is a business license, because when you go to the bank and open your bank account along with the EIN number, you have all the other stuff, you look official. I have your business license, here you go. You got everything in order. Here's my business license, here's my EIN letter, here's my business address. You could even get a domain going to your GPT so they can use it. I would probably make that a separate domain. I would probably have a domain that goes right to the GPT so they could use it, and then have a separate domain explaining your business, either in video format or I would do more than a blog. I would have it actually a landing page explaining that you use AI automation tools to help entrepreneurs and business owners grow and market their business. That's really all the landing page has to say. And that email got to match that domain so you could get real business emails. Game changer. This is actually a game changer, because there's no excuse to say I'm not techie. I hear a lot of people over 40 even, 40s, 50s, and 60s saying I'm not techie. Guess what? You don't have to be anymore. I'm literally going to use this video to help train my GPT. This video I'm doing right now is going to help train my GPT on what I do, and then I can take it a little bit further, because I can actually narrow it down to I help gig workers. I use AI automations to help gig workers build a real business to get grants, loans, corporate and business credit. Because once you have all these things in place, it will make getting grants super easy. Matter of fact, I have a grant source that uses AI. You want to check that out. There's a link below this video. They actually have AI built in their platform to help you. You can sign up for free, but you do have to become a member to use the AI. But their AI will literally help you write the grant. Like if you're stumped and you don't remember back in the day when you were going for grants, at least I do, and I didn't know what to say. That was the hardest part about getting a grant. I didn't know what to say. What do I say? No excuse anymore. This AI will help you fill in the blanks. AI literally will help you improve your score. It gives you a score. It will help you improve your chances of getting a grant that you don't even have to pay back. And if you're doing software, I don't have to tell you guys that the likelihood of you getting grants for a software company is really high, especially if you say you have a media platform or you have several YouTube channels to help market their business or yours, which in my case is true. I have 6 YouTube channels that aren't big at all, but the average banker, they see a couple videos with several thousand views on it. They might actually look at that as pretty decent. Even though I'm not one of these big YouTubers that got, 10,000 subscribers and 100K views on every video. They don't really think of YouTube like that. If you have I have one video on one of my channels that has 16,000 views on it. I think they're gonna say that's pretty good. Not worth bragging about, but the bank's not gonna look at that as small. That's pretty good. Yeah, maybe this guy's worth giving a couple dollars to. And then one of the platforms I'm using to fix my credit also uses AI. AI is everywhere. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. AI is everywhere now. Everybody's talking about it. I think I'm just one of the few people talking about it in a way that's layman's terms, if that makes sense. Not necessarily like we're talking street, but layman's terms so the average person can understand. We all could use AI to help build our business now. And if you're just an Uber driver and you don't want to pay extra fees to do a traditional C Corp, start with an LLC. I'm not telling you don't do that. Start with your LLC and you're just a gig worker. Put your gig money in your LLC. Do all these steps I'm talking about. But when you make enough money, you could actually go back and set up the C Corp, because that's where you're going to get the most money from. And then put that LLC under the C Corp. I mean, yeah, that LLC under the C Corp, or the C Corp buys it. And what Derek Whitehead was saying, he does like a free thing where he talks about business like every Wednesday or something. What Derek Whitehead was saying is, once one of your companies, let's say one of your sub companies or subsidiaries is worth, say, $100,000, automatically your holding company, your C Corp, is also worth $100,000. So together, you're now worth $200,000. Imagine when they both get to $1 million. Even $500,000. Let's say you don't make it to $1 million. One of your companies makes it to $500,000. Now your total is $1 million. You go to the bank, you didn't have to borrow all of that. You borrow 75% of that. You go put it into a piece of real estate under another LLC owned by your holding company. You just triple your company. And now, and the misconception is, I want to clear this up. The misconception is you can't be a single member C corporation. That's false. Legally, you can. You could be a single member C Corp. They frown upon it a little bit. That's what Derek Whitehead talks about it. That's why later you do want to go back and bring in, you can hire these people. Go in and bring in 2 more directors. So now you have a board of at least 3 people. You always want an odd number. So when you vote, it's not even. You go in and get 2 more board members or 4 board members in year 5, so you break the tie. You could hire them. You can have one that's the COO. You hire your best, smartest guy that does sales, so he runs the company when you're not available. You go get another guy, he's your chief technology officer. You get another guy, he's your chief marketing officer. You know, another person is like the secretary or the HR department. They handle all the hiring and administrative stuff. Now, each one of those directors can also do what later? They can also borrow money for the corporation. So everybody should fix or have good credit, personal credit, to guarantee the company at least one time. Because at some point, you won't need personal guarantees. You'll have grants, you'll have corporate credit, and you'll have business credit that slowly builds on its own. You don't have to guarantee anything anymore. You put anything high risk like cars, you put that in a separate LLC. You got real estate, you put that in a separate LLC. You got stocks or investments like cryptocurrency, you put that in a separate LLC. check with your tax professionals. But this is the stuff I'm learning over time. Anything higher risk, you want to keep layers in between that and your main holding company. Your holding company or your C Corp should be the one that produces the most corporate credit, but it don't even matter, because if you are operating companies that has a lot of credit, guess what? That's considered owned by the C Corp as well. So literally, you can have your transportation company and have 20, 30 Visa gas cards that equate to over 300,000. That's still considered the holding company's money and credit, even though it's showing up under your subsidiary. You just got to prove you own the subsidiary. The banks are not going to frown upon you because you own high-risk subsidiaries. They're just going to frown upon you if the main company is high risk. It's okay to own a transportation company or own real estate. You just don't want that owned directly by the holding company. You want that, the subsidiary, to physically hold that. This is what I'm working on, all from a GPT that is your business consultant, to the point where now, once I feed my own GPT with enough information about me, and it's going to talk in my tone, and it's going to know who I am, it's going to know where I was born, it's going to know my family members, because I'm going to input that information in at some point. It's going to know me so well that when I'm gone from this earth, God forbid, when I'm gone from this earth, my child could go to this GPT and it'll have data about me and be able to produce content based on me and the way I speak and the way I do business. So my daughter or an executive under me could actually continue to produce content based on my GPT, even though I'm no longer alive. Think about that. Think about that for a minute. That's big. You could build a business based on who you are. This is why it's important for you to spell things correctly, because I don't know why the transcripts have a habit of spelling my last name wrong. They'll spell it Brandon with a D-O-N at the end. And it's Blanding, you know, Blanding. And I am self-proclaimed corporate hustler. You know, I gave myself that title. I do have a business. I do have a not an LLC, a YouTube channel called Shania Business. It's probably my biggest and most long-term channel that I probably will put most of my business content on. But my channel Blandrake, I would say, has more of my speaking tone and flavor of what I'm doing as far as creating a new business for the transportation side as well as the software stuff. I think on Shania Business, I'm going to talk a lot about the credit lines, the holding company stuff, and of course, Nice Guy Driver. I'm talking strictly rideshare, going into starting a private business, private transportation business, which is primarily one of my main skills outside of learning this AI stuff. So when I asked ChatGPT, it did say I should do something in transportation, but it also said I should continue also doing stuff and building a business based on the AI technology, and use my YouTube channel as advertising for that stuff. Because it ain't like transportation, I need advertising. That could be the physical world. I can give out business cards, flyers, which I probably will do. I'll probably mix the two worlds, I'll probably let people know. Like, I had a passenger in the car a couple days ago, and we got to talking about AI technology, and I think he was a little taken back, because he's like, oh, this Uber driver really knows this AI stuff. It's not that I'm smart. I'm not smart at all. I'm just learning. I'm at the beginning stages of learning this stuff. Just imagine when I really know it. I'll have a fully fledged agency probably. When I know this stuff to the point where I can go to a no-code website and possibly build my own, let's say, rideshare app with a no-code tool, like it's one of these tools out here called Replit. If I can go to Replit, go in, build my own app, fill in the blanks, and actually put it into use in Connecticut, then I'll feel like a genius. But why do all that headaches when I could grow a business and hire somebody that already knows this stuff? Go out and find the smart people and hire them. Speed my progress along. Rather than hurt my brain trying to learn everything myself. I don't need to learn everything. All I need to do is create my GPT and give my GPT enough info to be smarter than me, to give me advice. I could literally go to this law firm I watch on YouTube and take a transcript from his stuff and feed that also into my GPT to train other people, but put a spin on it where it'll talk in my voice. I'll tell it, use this information, but break it down in a way that I would break it down. So it's going to take out all the big words and the legal jargon, break it down in layman's terms. So, I don't want to say regular people, but the average person could understand it. We don't all understand this legal jargon that, some of these lawyers say or do. And I got 2 law firms that I'm thinking about using for this. And they talk about holding companies, living trusts, how you can use these things to really format your life and shelter your assets at the same time. So we are in the future, guys. The future is now. The future is now. We are finally at the point in our lives where we no longer have to be techie to use these tools. And of course, like always, I'm headed to see my daughter and granddaughters when I do these long videos. And I'll probably take this video and of course make short form content with it, which is also going to help my channel, as well as it's going to train my GPT. I do apologize, it was blurry at some point because of the sun glare, but I hope this was at least informational on And you just go to ChatGPT. It won't be that hard to find where to find the GPT stuff. Or you can go to other YouTube people and they'll point it out for you. But I do believe you have to be on a $20 plan to take advantage of building your own GPT. That's another thing. There's information all over YouTube. Use YouTube as your coach. You no longer need a business consultant. We are now officially in the time where you don't need a real business consultant. You don't have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for coaching. You don't even have to listen to me. The only thing you might want to listen to me is go build your own GPT. That's only, if you only got that out of this video, I did my job and I'm proud. If that's all you got out of this video, if you at least got that, I'm proud, I did my job, and I'm grateful. If you want more, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it, click the bell icon, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.